My name is Laura. I'm 34 years old, and I am a divorced woman. People call me a pretty woman. They say I'm the prettiest professor in the department. That did not protect me. My husband cheated on me anyway. He left me for a woman older than I was. Now I live alone. I teach literature at a university I once dreamed of working at, and I love my life. A few months ago, someone new joined my class. His name was Douglas. He was 24, a graduate student, quiet, polite, always early. The first time our eyes met, my heart skipped. Not because he was handsome, but because of how he looked at me. Like I mattered. Not like a professor. Like a woman. I noticed it immediately. And I told myself to ignore it. But it followed me. Douglas stayed after class to ask questions. He carried boxes when my hands were full. Once, when my tire went flat in the faculty parking lot, he stopped and fixed it without being asked. I told him thank you. He smiled like it meant something more. I liked being noticed. After my divorce, I had forgotten what that felt like. I never touched him. I never crossed a line. Attention does not need permission. One evening, a storm hit the city without warning. Rain fell hard and fast. The campus emptied. I was locking my office when I saw Douglas outside the main building, soaked, standing under a broken light. I hesitated. Then I walked toward him. He said the buses had stopped running. He said it was a long drive to his apartment. The rain was heavy. The night was empty. I made a decision I would regret. You can stay at my place, I said, just for tonight. At my apartment, I gave him a towel. I showed him the guest room. I told him good night. I locked my bedroom door. I told myself everything was fine. At exactly 3 a.m, a sound woke me up. I opened my eyes. Someone was standing beside my bed. I froze. Then I reached for the lamp and turned it on. Douglas stood there, very close. He did not step back. He smiled slightly, not friendly, not shy. Miss Laura, he said quietly. My heart slammed into my chest. I asked him what he was doing. My voice shook. He said he couldn't sleep. He said he wanted to talk. I told him to leave my room. He didn't move. I stood up. That's when his hand touched my wrist. I pulled away. He stepped closer. I told him no. He said I had invited him. He said I liked the attention. He said I knew what this meant. I panicked. But Douglas came closer. He touched my hair. Come on, Miss Laura, he said softly. I know you like me. I know you are divorced. I know you like attention. My heart started beating very fast. I stepped back. We could be together, he said. You don't have anyone. I felt my chest tighten. I did not know what to do. Douglas, I said, trying to stay calm. I only let you stay because you have been helpful to me. That is all. He did not listen. His eyes were different now. Like he could not hear my words. He moved closer again. I stepped back again, but my bed was behind me. I turned my head and saw the bottle on the table. I did not think. I grabbed it and hit him on the head. The sound was dull. Douglas fell to the floor. He did not move. For a moment, everything was silent. My whole body was shaking. I dropped the bottle. I knelt beside him and touched his neck. There was a pulse. He was alive. I felt weak with fear and relief. I grabbed my phone and called the police. They came quickly. An ambulance came too. They put Douglas on a stretcher and took him away. The police asked me many questions. I told them the truth. I did not hide anything. They believed me, but belief does not stop damage. The next day, I went to the university. People looked at me differently. Some stared, some whispered, some turned away. I heard my name in low voices. She calls young men to her house. She asked for it. She is not innocent. No one asked me what really happened. No one cared. My reputation fell in one night. Students avoided my class. Colleagues stopped talking to me. I felt alone again. One afternoon, I sat in the cafeteria. I was holding my coffee, but my hands were still shaking. Then I saw him, my ex-husband. He sat across from me without asking. I heard about you, Laura, he said. I didn't expect this from you, he continued. You are a dangerous woman. My heart broke again. You should have been more careful, he said. Then he stood up and left. I sat there frozen. That was the moment I knew. The place was no longer safe for me. A week later, I resigned. I packed my books. I packed my clothes. I left the city. I moved to a small town where no one knew my name. Sometimes at night, I still think about the storm, about how one decision changed everything. A woman can tell the truth and still be blamed. She can protect herself and still lose everything.